Kenan Shalom, Revelation chapter number 20, verse 7, 8, 9, and 10. Revelation 20, verse 7 till verse 10, and I'm reading to you from the New Living Translation. When the 1,000 years come to an end, Satan will be let out of his prison. He will go out to deceive the nations, called Gog and Magog. In every corner of the earth he will gather them together for battle, a mighty army as numberless as sand along the seashore. And I saw them as they went up on the broad plain of the earth and surrounded God's people and the beloved city. But fire from heaven came down on the attacking armies and consumed them. Verse 10, that the devil who had deceived them was thrown into the fiery lake of burning sulfur, joining the beast and the false prophet. There they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. Please check my archives on my channel for the message titled Raised to Reign. We are reigning with Christ in the heavenly places on earth. The 1,000-year period, or the millennium, began when Yeshua ascended to heaven and sat at God's right hand. And Hebrews chapter 10, verse 12 to 13, Hebrews 10 verse 12 to 13 tells us that Yeshua sat at God's right hand, and ever since then he is waiting for the Father to make all his enemies his footstool. We, the saints of God, are ruling with him and will continue to rule with him. These verses I just read tells us that Satan will be released after 1,000 years. 1,000 years doesn't mean a literal 1,000 years. The number represents completion, maturity and fullness. 1,000 speaks of completion, maturity and fullness. It's about the body of the Messiah, or the church, the bride of the Messiah, reaching completion, maturing to the fullness of his stature. Then Satan will be released to deceive the nations and turn them against the church and Jerusalem, Israel. We are already seeing glimpses of this in our times. Anti-Christian, anti-Jewish and anti-Israel sentiments and actions. It's during this time in the future that all Jews will turn to Yeshua and be saved. The glory of God will manifest like fire, and God's enemies and the enemies of his people will perish. And Satan will be thrown into the lake of fire, and that will be the end of him. Yeshua will return from heaven and make all things new. We will live with him in the new heaven and new earth, new world. Amen.